Dear friends, everybody understands the great positive and formative role of the Internet, the most revolutionary project of our epoch. And despite the fact that much has been said about this, we often talk about new prospects for the development of the World Wide Web. We want to make you familiar with the composition of the project we dream to realize. At first glance, this project may seem excessively ambitious and optimistic, but we tend to believe that John Lennon's words will one day become prophetic. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you'll join us and the world will be as one. This project is a product of mental and organizational activity of a team of specialists under the guidance of its author, Mikhail Freidlin. And we want to start with a greeting, "Hello World," which has long become something more than just the first exercise for programming beginners. This expression as a symbol of the creation of a new world with the help of man-made intellect, where a human strives to obtain a reliable helper and, if you wish, a good wizard. And indeed, 40 years since the inception of the Hello World test message, the Internet has created a new information society. Many people associated this society with an accelerating social progress on the planet. It was difficult to find anybody who thought otherwise. However, something went wrong. Brought internetization and rapid development of search systems and social networks have not led to the expected progress of the whole planet. Moreover, cyber hatred has settled in the World Wide Web. For example, in the space of the dark net, there thrives drug trafficking, illegal arms sales, cybercrime. The Internet's capabilities are widely used to coordinate terrorist attacks, to promote violence and social inequality. In the world, they become more poor people, man-made disasters, terrorist attacks, and the social depression is just growing. Most likely, you want to ask, well, what does the Internet have to do with it? We think that if it motivated its users to constructive activities, then it would indeed turn into a reliable assistant and a good magician for the mankind. It would become a catalyst for the transformation of the information society into a planetary knowledge society in which science and modern technologies are used with the highest efficiency for the welfare of people on the whole planet, and not in the interests of individual countries, individual political or business communities. There are already tens of thousands of innovative hubs, incubators, business angels, technoparks on the planet. Mankind has sufficient knowledge and innovative power to right now deal with many global problems and make almost any country prosperous. In particular, according to the United Nations, on the planet there are about 900 million malnourished people. In the world, there are many countries where 50% and more of the population are starving. On the map, they're dark-colored, but if we consolidated agro and biotechnologies, the problem of hunger would be solved. For this purpose, it is necessary to significantly strengthen the positive, motivational mission of the Internet. its real ability to awaken in people a planetary mindset, a desire by the collective intelligence to lead all the countries of the world to prosperity, to stimulate creative people to provide intellectual assistance to countries in need. The implementation of this mission will significantly improve the psychological mood of people, increase their social and business activity. It will contribute to the qualitative renewal of political and business elites in all countries, will raise to governments, business and other structures positive and creative people with high IQ. The world objectively needs the accelerated development of socially oriented internet resources, motivating people to positive self-realization, creation, and overcoming any problems. And we place great hopes on the internet of a different level of quality, which is obliged to become kind, positive, and constructive for everyone. For ourselves, we defined this internet as an intellectual internet. Briefly, IntelNet. We hope that IntelNet will make notable corrections to the philosophy of globalization of wealthy states and transnational corporations, which today profile the economic colonization of weak countries. IntelNet will help revise this philosophy with benefit for both developed states and for all other countries on our planet. It will catalyze the onset of a new era of geopolitical relations in the world. The powerful states will stop vacuuming natural resources of the third world countries, leaving them no hopes for economic growth and a better life. On the contrary, they will involve local raw materials, as well as the intellectual resources available there into the innovation process and in the internal economic turnover. And we are also to keep in mind that to extract intellect is as hard and laborious as to mine gold. Developed countries will profitably invest in the growth points of poor countries, create workplaces, make products with high added value. All this will improve the quality of life in weak countries, instilling the population of these states faith in humanity, in the future for themselves and their descendants. It will reduce the intensity of hatred, leading to an increase of prosperity in the world. Today, we want to emphasize the main idea, the inexhaustible positive possibilities of information technology. In addition to benevolent geopolitical behavior on this great chessboard of the world, such technologies will stimulate positive social relations within different cultural, political, and business communities, both within individual countries and international. Now, it's time to talk about the history of the emergence of the idea of the intellectual internet and about our vision of the process of transformation of the internet into IntelNet. This idea was born as a result of a kind of laboratory research obtained during the realization of a unique internet project, jazz festival competition, Master Jam Fest. We carry out the project not only because many of us like jazz, but also because it was this project that brought us to the idea of IntelNet. So the final of the internet project Jam Fest was, with great success, held live in June 2013 in Odessa, Ukraine. To participate in it, musicians registered on a special site and sent their promotional videos. There were several thousand applicants from 150 countries wishing to participate in this contest, but only 40 brightest improvisers from 17 countries came to the lead final. Musicians who first met in the finals without any preparation, 3 days improvised in front of the audience in different jazz styles. 45 unique pieces were played, and everything was done masterfully. At the concert, the project participants were seated in a big band and were offered to play 9 pieces with 3 conductors without rehearsal. Every musician in the orchestra was a soloist, and they did a great job again. It happened so because in this professional community there was a creative union of talents. The synergy of best of the best took place. On our website, we managed to unite, to race into the league final of the contest the best of the best musicians, because the key role in the selection of jazz talents was played by a social lift. Under the given conditions of using the abilities of the internet in one, for now, particular community, it could not be otherwise. To all the participants, the project helped to make a creative career. For example, this ingenious boy from Indonesia, Joy Alexander Sila, received his first highest award, Grand Prix of Master Jam Fest, in 2013. And three years later, and the invitation of the US President, he opened the International Day of Jazz in the White House. The choice of the jury, the reaction of the audience, the feedback of musicians, and further recognition of many participants of the project show the correctness of the approach to creating a special space an algorithm for stimulating the self-realization of talented people in a particular community. Master Jam Fest has become a kind of a practical IT philosophy in the conscious, highly effective, and positive use of individual energy in a collective environment. It became clear that one can jazz up in political, social, ecological, and economic communities in different countries, interstate and international associations. The ability to improvise helps to make the right decisions in unusual situations. This ability allows to turn routine actions into creative process. However, this requires a motivational mechanism that stimulates positive self-realization. This mechanism we see in IT social lifts, which raise creatively thinking people not only in culture, but also in politics, science, and social sphere. Thus, Master Jam Fest made us think about the possibility to noticeably raise the creative productivity of the internet, use its positive driving power in other human communities. So, the idea of IntelNet was born. Master Jam Fest became the forerunner of IntelNet. After Jam Fest, our team moved from jazz philosophy directly to work in a new paradigm of social networks with lifts. At the first stage, we created a model of the national socially oriented network for Ukraine, all Ukrainian brainstorming. Then we made the same models for several other countries. The created models have shown how such a kind of socially oriented networks can scoop up the intellect and talents of people in different territories and in various spheres of life. As in communicating vessels, the development of a particular country will be interesting not only to its citizens and the diaspora, but also to citizens of any other countries. This is all about stimuli. The National Social Network is a national portal built by global internet networks, for example, by Facebook. The portal of the country itself represents a vertical structure in which regions are woven from subregions and municipalities, and the whole country from regions. The national portal, which interacts with global social networks, dramatically enhances the effectiveness of its work. This is also beneficial for social networks because they will have new users and new content. Such synthesis will significantly increase the IQ of the Internet, and there will appear what we call IntelNet. Any user who has an access to the Internet will be free to offer their creative ideas. They will have the opportunity, with the benefit for themselves, to remotely participate in solving the problems of other countries using available IT tools. Thus, a person who lives, for example, in a rural area will have a possibility to take an active part in the life of his settlement, region, and the state as a whole. And if he has a desire, opportunities, and stimuli, then in the creative process of any other country. It is created an opportunity in any communities on different continents to form original virtual orchestras from the most creative, educated, and energetic people, regardless of their place of residence. Thanks to the Universal ID platform, the project can be implemented locally in any country of the world and also spread globally. In fact, if we weave a country from subregions and regions, then IntelNet world can be woven from the countries themselves. IntelNet will help the third world countries achieve prosperity in a short time, even if today they face serious economic difficulties. Social lifts can bring new minds, the most energetic people, into the governments of these states. The developed countries will multiply the achieved prosperity and will be able to ensure the safety of their citizens. However, they need to remember that safety and well-being in other countries are the main condition of their own safety and prosperity. IntelNet will become an effective global tool for reducing man-made threats, struggling with terrorism, eliminating hunger and poverty. It will help translate the depressed psychological state of the population into positive and creative one. The best minds, by their own example and achievements, will be able to positively influence people's lives and inspire others to get involved in joint creative work. What is encouraged becomes massive and, over time, culture. It's time to set rules of good taste in the life of social networks. It's time to change the landscape of internet communication and that of the objective reality which surrounds us. We invite partners and specialists interested in the implementation of projects such as JAMFest, national networks, and IntelNet to cooperate. You know, we thought about a simple slogan that could end this optimistic speech and settle on the following. Let's make our Earth the best place in the universe. Thank you.